What's up, everybody? Kimberly Olson here, also known as the Gold Digger Girl, and I have special guest Lindsay Sewell on. How you doing, girlfriend?
I'm awesome today. How are you?
Good. She's just sharing this out right now because one of us had to keep it rocking and rolling while the other is going to share it out. So we wanted to make sure we got this in front of as many eyeballs as possible. We do have some reactions, so that's good. We're not alone on this live. We're using Be Live, so if you've never used a third-party application, it's always a little questionable with Facebook. So we are just rocking and rolling with our interview today. We're so excited to be on. Okay, Kim, thank you for saying hi in the comments. We are live, Lindsay. So what
Awesome.
do is put 1 in the comments if you're watching this live, put 2 if you're watching the replay. If you're new and you've never seen my videos or Lindsay's videos, put new to Kimberly or put new to Lindsay so we can reach out and connect with you and just say hello. Thank you for watching. And if you share this out, go ahead and share it out and put shared in the comments. And then what we'll do is give you a shout out for that, okay? So we want to share this out. Boom, chakalaka boom. Okay,
Mine does not like.
share it, and then we will be, let me see if people are sharing it. Hi, ladies. Okay, share, share, share. Sharing is caring, and it's super important, obviously, to make sure that people can learn about building their tribe. Who wants to build their tribe? Put me in the comments if you want to. Hi, Annette. Hi, Missy. Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for being on. Okay. So if you guys don't know Lindsay was in my original boot camp. She's one of my original boot campers just about a year ago. She found me on social media because she, like me, was really looking to build on social media, but wanted to be different. She didn't want to do the cold messaging and all that stuff. So she was attracted to me. And what was really fun is that out of my original group of boot campers, Lindsay was the one that really stood out to me. She was like so coachable and just a student of the business, but literally like module by module, she would like implement everything from that session to the next week where everybody else was kind of, no offense, but like it's a lot being in an intense boot camp. And she totally took off. Like when we were done with that boot camp, she had her own brand. She was out doing Facebook Live. She was teaching. And as you guys have seen, if you followed her journey, she has really learned how to implement attraction marketing. She's a total rock star when it comes to social media. And I love learning from her. So in the comments, why don't you guys put, I'm a fan if you're a fan of Lindsay. So if you already know Lindsay and oh, I follow her, I love her, put I'm a fan. Oh, thank you for sharing, Kim. Thank you for sharing, Anna. Put I'm a fan in the comments. I want to see who already knows Lindsay Sewell. Okay, so put that in the comments. All right. So without further ado, we are going to talk about attracting the vibe attracts your tribe. I always get hung up on that. So obviously, Lindsay and I, some of you have been following our journey, we've decided to partner up and we've really began building our dream team. In a very short period of time, you guys, we just literally, it's been like 5-6 weeks, we decided to partner up and grow a business together. We built a team of almost 75 people super fast. And we were kind of just reflecting on that. We're like, we can't hold this in. We need to share with people what's been working for us. So Lindsay, why do you think the vibe of the people we've personally been attracting has been so amazing? Because it has been. Like I just pinch myself every day. I'm like, is this for real? So why do you think that is?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you for the wonderful introduction. I am, I think, just a little bit of an overachiever, and that's why I was always implementing your stuff. But there could be something to that because so are you, right? You're always on fire, and we attract what we're putting out into the universe. So I'm going to get a little heavy on you guys for a minute, but it really comes back to mindset, right? I found Kimberly a year ago, and I was immediately attracted to her because there was so much positivity, there was so much inspiration. And she was utilizing something that gets thrown around a lot, attraction marketing. But at the end of the day, really all that is just putting value, tons and tons and tons of value out into the market to help and serve your audience. And so I was attracted to that in her. And I knew that I wanted to model after that. So success leaves clues, you guys. Like that's so cliche, but it's so true. And you want to follow them and you want to model the people who are doing that. And the more you do that, the more that you get that back into your world. Don't you think so, Kimberly?
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Yes. It's like the law of attraction. It's for everything, not just you're manifesting your dream home. I mean, it's for your business, the people you surround yourself with. Yes, hands down.
And so like when we started doing that and putting that out there, when we decided to partner up, those people were like, I want to be a part of that, right? That they were coming towards you because they had seen that being put out in the universe and they wanted to join and be a part of it.
Totally. And also too, I think that getting really clear, on who you want. I think that like for me, I use the app Think Up. I don't know if you guys watching this have used that app before, but sometimes I kept all my old ones, my old audios, because you record yourself talking and you can play it and it's to music and it just sounds really like lovely. And sometimes I'll play my old stuff. And I literally, at the time, I didn't have my dream team. And it was new, right? I'd never done network marketing before. I didn't know what I was doing. And a lot of fear, right? And learning and you're just doubting yourself. Like I almost quit like 3 times. I'm like, I can't do this. And I played that over and over on my long freaking hour and a half drive to work. I would play that thing over and over and just pretend and smile. And in that Think Up, one of them was I have my dream team. I'm building my dream team. People love joining my team. I get messages all the time of people wanting to know more. I attract new customers and business builders. I am attracting runners. I'm attracting people who want this business just like I want this business. And I didn't have it at the time, but I just kept listening to it and feeling like, what would that be like? And I didn't know who those people were. I didn't know how that was going to happen, but that's not my job. My job is just to get crystal clear on what I want. And I think so many people are like, ooh, they have a pulse. They respond to my message. You know what I mean? And it's like, no. Like, who do you want to work with? Does that make sense? I mean, what would you say to that?
Oh, absolutely. Because I was the same way. I would be really obsessed at the beginning with getting people. Like,
yes,
gotta get this person. And when you get out of that realm and you really start to focus, like you said, on the vision of the type of people that you want and how you want your culture and your team to be and what you want those people to do and to how you want to work together, you stop worrying about getting people.
Yes.
And you start really finding the people that you want to work with. And it is surprising in the beginning when they start to come to you and say, hey, I want to know more about what you're doing. I really love what you're doing. And I want to be like that. I want to do my business that way. And you're like, oh, wow, that's amazing. And I think it would be a lie if we didn't say that most network marketers think they want to quit about 3 times a day.
Yeah, totally. It's totally normal. And no one talks about it. I should do a whole book on that. Like I haven't read it yet. So maybe we can do this for Mastermind Book Club, but your first year in network marketing, I heard it's really good because it said about 6 months in, like it's completely normal to hit a wall or just not be growing or just be like, what am I doing wrong? And I think, pushing through that, is important too, but also just really just focusing on what do you want? Like a confused mind does nothing. I always say that. And so when you talked about cultivating a culture,
yes,
when it comes to cultivating a culture of your team, because some of you come to me in Messenger and there's some bad stuff going on out there. Like it's, especially a lot of companies are very women dominant. And I worked in retail one time with a bunch of women and I'm not going to go revisit those memories very often because it can sometimes be not good, but I think part of it is the leader is responsible for the culture of the team. And a Debbie Downer is like a bad apple in a bowl of fruit. If you let her just be there, she's going to ruin that whole bowl of fruit. And so I think when it comes to fostering a certain culture, I think it really does start with the leaders. So what would you say what are some things like, is it important that the processes, the onboarding, those first steps, like the team, like weekly team meetings, a group, a Facebook group, like how important is that to culture and creating that kind of environment where people feel like, yeah, I want to be a part of this?
Well, first of all, I think a lot of teams just don't even have a culture, right? It's so often overlooked as being something that's important. And I think you can sometimes fall into 2 things where you'll be recruited into something and then the person, it just disappears, right? It's like, oh, my job's over. I recruited you. Good luck. And when you go into business with somebody, it's almost like a marriage. Like you need to continue to nurture that relationship.
You're like my online wife.
Yes. My sister wife.
Sister wife. Yes. Oh, it's so funny.
And then the flip side of that can be you bring somebody in and you basically throw the encyclopedia at them of your entire business and the genealogy of the owners of the company and every single ingredient that's in your products and where it was harvested from. And people get stuck in this like mindset of I can't do anything because I have to learn all of this before I go and talk to people. Mm-hmm. And so I think you need simple systems. And that's really what drew me to working with you in this new business, is that there are systems to plug people into in the first 14 days that give them bite-sized chunks of information and then get people into action. And you want to have something where they feel plugged in, they feel like they have somewhere to connect, right? And where they can rely on other people on the team as well as you. Because we're both moms. We can't be there all the time, right? Like when I'm changing a poopy diaper, I can't answer the question. And totally. So to have somewhere where your new people are plugged in with you, but also with the team, and they have a place to get that information, I think is just so critical. And then to have them have a system where they get into action every day. They don't get caught in learning mode, and they start to make some money right away. And we've really got something that allows people to get that quick win. And to get those, we have like our secret sauce to getting people launched really quick so that they're getting lots of leads right away and they're getting sales, and then they feel more confident. Because I think I read from Eric Worre, if you just get somebody to get $1 like in their first couple months, there's something crazy, don't quote me on this, but like 97% more likely to be with you a year later.
Wow.
It's $1. Yes, it's $1. It's not 100. It's not 1,000. It's not 10,000. It's one, because once they can get one sale, they know they can do it again. And so it's so important to not get them into overwhelm mode, but so important to kind of help them get off to that quick start. And then with team meetings, being respectful of people's time. But giving them stuff that is going to be impactful on a weekly basis so they keep plugging in and keep pushing their business forward. Because like you said, like I've been in that 6-month mark where I'm like, now what?
Yeah, because you're by yourself, you're kind of isolated. Yeah, and there's been companies that I joined before my last company where I actually, worked the business and grew it. And I didn't know what to do next. Like I remember I joined Young Living, and no offense to Young Living, it was just the person who signed me up. She didn't know either. She was just like, I'm going to use this for my kids. And I was pregnant with Addison, and I was like, I love essential oils. Like I'm totally going to like have a website and people are just going to order. Like I didn't understand anything. And I remember like there wasn't any training. There weren't any, like I wasn't plugged into a Facebook group. I was just kind of like hanging out. And I think what's been really neat is that like we're focusing on the positive things from the start. So we focus and celebrate, like when somebody gets their first customer, when somebody makes their first, like you said, they get that first commission check, that first comma check, that bonus, the ranks, whatever. And we're starting our team meetings with, what was your win this week? Like, what happened? And then if we do notice that if there is any negativity, and people don't need to be negative, it's just sometimes it's a personality trait or they just don't know social norms, we're able to redirect that person, right away and just really say, this is the standard. The standard, if you're on our team, this is what's expected. And so if you're on a team right now and you're like, well, I'm, little peon down here and so up above me, like they're running the show, it's not me. Why don't you reach out to that person and say, I'd love to do a guest training. I'd love to come into our next team meeting and I want to teach something I'm learning from Kimberly and Lindsay, but I want to teach something really cool I learned about curiosity posts. Could I come in on our next team meeting? And then they start to get value from those weekly calls. And then the team starts responding and they're implementing the curiosity posts. Before you know it, you guys, you're a leader without having a big team. And like attracts like. So when you stand up and you raise your hand and say, I want to be a leader, guess what happens? You start attracting people to you. And before you know it, you actually have a team in front of you. It's really, really cool. So let me ask you another question. What advice would you give to somebody who wants to start attracting high quality prospects? Because like we said, we don't want to just like get some person who has a pulse and respond, I'll watch your video. And we're like, that's going to be my next rock star. Like, what would be some shifts that you've made or just advice you have for when you first started like that? And I mean, I feel like you're just so good at like qualifying leads and you're really focused on like, is this person a good fit for me or not? You know, you're not like trying to get people and trying to like just have people join the team to join the team. Like, I feel like you've been really selective to say, you know what, honestly, I'm not really even going to pursue that person. Like, they can be a customer, but I don't think this is a good fit for them. So tell us a little bit more about how you go about that, or what's your mindset around that?
Yeah, so that was something that has really shifted for me. When I got going in network marketing about, let's say, like a year and a half ago, I was chasing everybody, and I was talking to anybody that I could, and I was like, you got to do this with me, you got to do this with me. And people would, you know, I feel like they were feeling like obligated. And so some of them would jump on board and then they would do nothing because they didn't really want it. They weren't really interested. And I think the thing that I would say to people, and this takes some work, you guys, this is not an overnight process, is gaining clarity and congruence. And so what does that mean? Because that sounds like, oh, that sounds great, but how do you do that? So what I had to do is I really had to sit down and figure out who was I. Because we talk about our target our avatar and our target market. Chances are that person is you. If you were attracted to the products, to the business, to the company, you're going to speak to people who are like you. So getting really clear on who you are and what you stand for and who you are going to serve, because that is what it's all about, especially with attraction marketing. Who are you going to serve and what are their problems? And then really thinking around, you know, a lot of times we fall in love with products and then we just, oh, I'm just going to join this team and sell it because I love the products. But you have to be really passionate about what you're doing. You need to be able to speak to it. Like, I couldn't sell computer software. I'm not a techno whiz. Like,
oh, no way.
I couldn't do that. So yes, you need to be passionate about what you're doing. But the second part is to really look for strong mentors and leadership. And you're the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most of your time with. So, I mean, again, this attraction marketing, this law of attraction, but you really want to look at your products aren't going to sell themselves. You want to plug yourself into a strong mentor and leadership team. And I was really drawn to this with Kimberly and our upline Beth because of that. You know, just because of the strength of the people that you would surround yourself with and the fact that they would mentor you in how to create that successful business. So really understanding who you are and then making sure that you have that strong leadership team. And maybe that's in the form of a coach, because maybe that is not, you love your product, you love your company, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, but you know, I'm not jiving. Like, my upline and I were not jiving. So what do I do now? And then, so maybe that's coaching that you find. Or if you're looking for an opportunity, you know, or if you're like, ooh, my product is not really that congruent. And maybe that's why I'm struggling, because I'm trying to sell computer programming and I'm not a computer programmer. Then maybe you need to look somewhere else. I mean, I hate to say that because I don't believe in this like hop from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. But when you start to really figure out your clarity around who you are, sometimes you do need to make a shift, right? And I think people too often overlook how important the leadership of their team is, and don't really interview like in marriage, because it's like a marriage, you guys. You know, spend a lot of time with that person, and you really want to be looking, right? And Kimberly and I are so thrilled to be personally mentoring the people that we've attracted into our team. It's been very, very rewarding to have these people who have decided to reach out and say, I want to join you, and to get to mentor them, because they are the dream team that we've been, like we said, like 75 people in the last 5 weeks that we are just thrilled to have joined us. It's been mind-blowing, honestly.
Yeah, I know, and crazy. I did, like, I'm pretty sure there was at least 1 or 2 days I did forget to shower. So I've been sorry about that. But when it comes to network marketing, you guys, this is what I want you to remember. People go to school for 4 or 5 years to get their undergrad. And then people join network marketing and they suddenly think like, okay, I got it. It's like, no, there's so much you have to learn. And I think that's why people get discouraged or feel isolated, is because they don't have that leadership. You have to find it, whether it be your upline's upline, or a virtual upline, like you said, get a coach or get into a group. You know, I have all kinds of stuff. You have all kinds of tools. And it's okay. Like, yeah, you know what, most people don't get it right the first time, and that's okay. It's all about, it's just like if you went to school to become a teacher and you start teaching and you're like, oh shoot, I don't really like kids. That wasn't a good idea. Okay, then let's figure out what you do like, right? Maybe it's starting orphanages in Africa. Like maybe that gets you going. So it's the same thing with network marketing. You don't know until you actually go and do it. And then I feel like women especially, we beat ourselves up and we internalize and we're like, I suck. That's why I almost quit, because it just, for whatever reason, I wasn't getting it at first. And I was trying to like grow, but I didn't know how to do attraction marketing. And I didn't know how to cold message, and I didn't know anything. And so once I started getting it, I got momentum. And then you guys have seen what has happened in my career. But if I would have quit and just been by myself, like we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So I think give yourself the grace to use this. And this is what Eric Worre says, earn while you learn, you know, earn while you learn, be in programs, get coaching, watch videos like this. Don't just watch it, turn around and implement it, but really spend some time and think about, who are you surrounding yourself with? What kind of people are you hanging out with? And it doesn't mean you just like let go of all your friends, but you got to go find your tribe. You know, your vibe does attract your tribe. What are you putting out there? What are you talking about? What kind of things are you sharing? What kind of books are you reading? What are you doing to work on your own mindset every day? And it really does make a really big difference. So Lindsay, where can they find you?
Well, I am all over social media. So you can find me on my profile. It's Lindsay Sewell, Sewell, or on my business page, The Balanced Mompreneur. I am also over on Instagram at Lindsay R. Sewell, because Lindsay Sewell was taken over there. And if you guys are listening to this, and you're like, attraction marketing, this sounds phenomenal, and I have no idea how to even get started. I have an ebook. I'd love to share it with you guys. It's 36 pages of goodness on how to really start to gain that clarity and start to implement attraction marketing. So Kimberly, I think you said they can just drop link in the comments, and
ManyChat will come talk to you, because you know I'm obsessed. Lindsay is too, so I'm not alone.
My bot Betsy will.
I haven't named my bot. Maybe I should do a poll.
She will come and share all of that attraction marketing goodness with you if you want to learn this stuff too, because it, like Kimberly said, we get so beat up because we're not having immediate results. And yet if we went to college, it would take 4 or 5 years. So think about where you could be in your business if you went to school and learned something and then implemented it every single day for 4 or 5 years.
It's crazy.
You're going to have success. There's no way you can't if you show up every single day and serve your audience and get clear on who that is.
And you're just like the queen of great tips and content. And I've read your thing and I freaking loved it. The cool thing too with working with Lindsay, you guys so far, I think sometimes like people see me because I'm so visible and I am all over the place. Like I'm always doing lives. I learn stuff from you all the time, Lindsay. Like every single day, I'm like, that's so good. I'm going to use that. Like you're just a wealth of knowledge, and you guys don't, you're undergrad psychology, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's so important when it comes to marketing, because it's not about selling, and it's not about closing people, and it's not about getting people. It's about understanding psychology and relationships and connecting and offering value. So get her ebook because it's awesome. And then we're talking about ManyChat. Just put link in the comments. This will be on there if you already put linked. One of the choices when you get the bot, my bot, is the ManyChat crash course I have coming up. It's February 27th. So if you want to learn how to automate Facebook Lives like this, if you want to learn how to build up an email list or a subscriber list without having a website, or if you want to learn how to attract leads, we'll help you with creating free content. How do you get leads coming to you and prospects coming to you that are qualified? And then how do you actually pre-qualify them? You can do everything with ManyChat. But if you've never tackled it before, it is overwhelming. So Anna Bearfield is the brains behind my ManyChat stuff, and I am the creative on it. So together we're going to co-teach a class. So just put link in the comments and you guys can get the details on it. It starts in 2 weeks. And then last but not least, I manifested an interview with Jessica Higdon. So tomorrow I'm interviewing her. She's such a stud at the Goal Digging Boss Babes. So she's coming in. We're doing a Facebook Live in Goal Digging Boss Babes. If you put link in the comments, you'll get a link to join the group and I will approve you. I'll be keeping an eye on that because that group is a little crazy. There's like 11,000 people in there. She's going to teach you guys how to prospect your cold market. So with her, it's not about spamming or anything like that. When I first started learning about social media, she was the first person I found. I was watching all her webinars because she started network marketing when she was super young, and her warm market laughed at her. They're like, oh, good luck with that. And they wouldn't buy anything from her. So she's like, I guess I'll go on social media. And she went out to build a multiple six-figure. Now she's a millionaire. So it's Ray Higdon's wife, if you don't know who she is. So just put link in the comments, and you guys can pop into our interview tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central, and we'll get you all squared away with that, okay? So Lindsay, thank you so much for being on today. You are so awesome. I just adore you. And I look forward to many more classes like this. And we are actually going to co-teach a webinar. We're going to do a little crash course, mini course for you guys too. We already have some stuff collaboratively. We just know we would knock it out of the park together. So thank you, Lindsay, for being on.
Thank you for having me. And remember, guys, you're the 5 people you surround yourself with. So I found Kimberly, and she definitely improved my world.
Aw, thanks. Yes, I agree. I said you're one of my favorite people on the planet. Okay, everybody, you have a great day, and we will see you later. Bye.